You know what I just saw? I just saw a picture of Boris Yeltsin and a number of affiliates with Bill Clinton while he was playing the saxophone. This was before those congressional hearings concerning Citigroup. It's bad enough you let him try to make me his personal service vehicle before I got my own driver's license. How long did you expect to be able to traffic me in connection with that particular kind of mistake? It would seem that what has happened is, in some manner, way, shape, or form, there has been a reconsideration of the original IMF loans that were given to Russia following the demise of, or the transition of, the former Soviet Union. It would seem those are the timelines that fit. What you were referencing a few days ago was attempting to identify me within that matrix. But what happened is you had reconfigured things. You swapped some things out and you recapitulated some things. So instead of me being a journalist, apparently I was supposed to somehow be involved in another manner, right? I was supposed to be one of the people that I profiled or that I referenced in my article. And correlatively, there are certain aspects of my identity that involved me actually working within communities that had a specific kind of identity that are just erased. That's not a part of the background. And I've been hearing someone say, well, they've already erased her life. Well, the thing is, that's not necessarily true. What happened was, is the products you made out of the expropriation of my life and potentially what would otherwise be evidence in prosecution for organized criminal activity that also includes large scale money laundering and also involves trafficking up to and including, unfortunately at this point, radioactive materials may have been deleted or may have been shred or destroyed in order to tamper with evidence. But my life, my memory, that shock therapy that you gave my mother around the time it seems you were giving Mother Russia that shock therapy, that made my mother forget the previous 20 years of her life when I was 19, right? That? Yeah, I didn't get that, right? I didn't get that. So my memory is actually rather excellent. And the documentation, if you don't have the original documentation, because you tried that thing where you took the documents and you anonymized them, or you tried to put things that were supposed to be for the public good and instead decided you were going to privatize it or make it some sort of proprietary confidential information that was going to be market intelligence, while other people were allowed to be, hidden away and expropriated from because they are national intelligence related, right? Actually, that didn't work. Nothing's been deleted. I still have my memory. I still have the capacity to put timelines together. You give me access to the primary facilities. I can go in there and let you know whether the documents have been tampered with. Like what they did with my article, Terror and Torture on Trial in Chicago, when they allowed for somebody to make a digital record based upon the text of my article and selectively excerpt 3 to 4 paragraphs from my actual article that I composed myself, or that rather I composed in coordination with somebody that shared the byline with me. And then they excerpted 3 to 4 paragraphs and they put it in a completely different article with a completely different author, who, by the way, fit a different racial profile, after they completely recharacterized the information in that article to reflect a legal proceeding that, so far as I knew, did not even exist at the time the original article was written. See, things like that have happened, right? Did you delete all of that? See, because I believe that's the kind of product you created that you might have since deleted because it's evidence. But were there to be a production of that as evidence, and perhaps somebody has a case, and maybe you've allowed somebody else to masquerade as if they're entitled to completely abuse the judicial process in order to claim insurance on their efforts or claim that it's allowed to be used as illegal underwriting. See, that's also evidence. So I just want to encourage you right now that it's not that glum at all. Really, it's not. It just means we're going to need more international cooperation because if it's true that things like this just happen and the conspiracy is that coordinated, then what that means is a lot of people engaged in these illegal activities have defaulted. And it's that huge. So, what are you possibly going to have as a replacement or as some sort of possibility that could provide an alternative if that has actually occurred? Because I understand it has, right? And the sooner we admit we have a problem, the sooner we can start cooperating on what to do about it. Am I correct? I believe that's really, have we gotten to a more appropriate kind of attenuation, right? And so, just let me know when you're ready, right? Just let me know when you're ready. For the record, whoever you are, I honestly understand and believe it's a very, very, very narrow group of people that is allowed to provide feedback to me. I'm not going to be upset about anything I've already done as a response, but it is pretty big in that way. How are you going to address that? How is it that this default is so significant that it's going all the way back to the late 1990s and it's completely misrepresentative? Why did you let Charity Kraus be positioned as Alexander Mishulovich? Why did you let that happen? There's absolutely nothing honest or true about that. It's the most horrendous kind of slammer and torment you could give somebody. Why would you do that? Even if you're upset at me because you agreed to use me as a loan to somebody else and I didn't pay, if you don't kill me, which you haven't, inevitably the truth is going to be revealed.